Hello, it's nice to have you with us for this edition of the English News Edition. Here are the top stories. And a visit for the President of Somaliland, Musa Bihi Ahmed. Signing of an agreement to finance the second phase of the drilling. Thank you for joining us in our newsroom. The President of Somaliland, Mr. Musa Bihi Ahmed, left this morning the capital of Djibouti for Hargeisa after 48 hours of official visit to the Republic of Djibouti. Upon his departure, he was accompanied back to the airport by the Djiboutian Foreign Minister Mohammed Ali Yusuf and helped by several Djiboutian Somaliland ministers and senior officials. During his stay in Djibouti, the President of Somaliland had serious talks with the Djiboutian counterpart, President Gille. An agreement was signed this morning between the Republic of Djibouti and the Arab Fund for the Economic and Social Development, the FATES, for the launch of the second phase of drilling exploration for geothermal steam resources. In addition to the Minister of Economy and Finances, Ilyas Moussa Douali, were present at the signing ceremony of the convention. The Secretary General of the Ministry, Mariam Hamadou, Director of External Finance, Ali Gadile, the Director General of EDD, Jama Ali Gele, Director of Djibouti Geothermal Agency, Mr. Qayad. In a short speech, the Minister of Finance pointed out that Djibouti relies heavily on green energies, including geothermal energy, to support economic development and create jobs. Let's listen to him.
This geothermal project is an important project for our country as well as the President of the Republic and his government. As you all know, in our country we have a geothermal potential. To see the geothermal go and create that develop binary energy on the first geothermal project, we have a lot of partners who intervene in particular regions of Fial. A drawing will soon be executed. We sincerely thank the FEDES in partnership with the National Creative Fund. We are trying to develop very quickly a binary geothermal energy. We will have an entire industrial and economical ecosystem in this region of Lake Assal that will make this region a dynamic region in terms of creating wealth and employment.
A number of ministers met today at the People's Palace to discuss the consolidation of reforms in order to improve the business climate. More with Manda Mahmoud.
As part of the consolidation of reforms to improve the business climate, some ministers met this morning in an event organized at the People's Palace by the Minister of Budget in collaboration with the World Bank. The purpose of this meeting was to introduce administrative reforms made to promote the creation of business.
The Belgian minister in his opening speech at this meeting recalled that the Doing Business report devotes Djibouti to the first position of reforming MENA countries. Then he further emphasized that matrix of reforms should see the light of day for the next edition of Doing Business. Under the theme, My Language is My Identity, the Yemeni school in Djibouti closed this morning in this headquarters the activities devoted to the World Day of the Arabic language in collaboration with the Ministry of National Education and Professional Training. The closing ceremony saw the participation of the Diplomatic Corps, especially the Dean of the Diplomatic Body, the Ambassador of the State of Palestine in Djibouti, Kamal Qassas, the Chargé d'Affaires of the Yemeni Embassy in Djibouti, Nashir Qais Nasr, as well as the Chairman of the Administration Board of the Yemeni School, Mr. Maysara Mohammed Saif, and Director of the school, Abdul Rashid Muhammad Ali. The event was attended by representatives of the Ministry of National Education and Vocational Training, NGOs, and sponsors of these educational institutions. The winners of the great competition that was organized on the sidelines of the International Day of the Arabic Language have received valuable prizes donated by some of the organizations that support the Yemeni school. It should be noted that nearly 262 students from Islamic Institute in Djibouti and the Yemeni school, independent candidates from the community, participated in various fields of this competition. The mobile team of the CNSS in charge of the registration and issuance of Universal Health Insurance Cards (EMU) has elected this morning to the headquarters of the National Force Police. The registration operations will last nearly 3 weeks to establish EMU cards that will allow agents and police officers to benefit from full medical coverage. It is for the CNSS to reinforce its proximity policy in favor of these affiliates by producing on-the-spot EMU cards. The CNSS set itself as an objective in this beginning of 2018 to bring its social and medical services closer to its users in order to better serve them. For Lieutenant Colonel Samater Hassan Farah, police doctor to the police force and their families will be able to benefit from care under the EMU, especially regarding the hospital services. As part of the Djiboutian Workforce Efficiency Project, the forced training on basic skills in job and entrepreneurship is launched yesterday. The official opening was marked by the presence of the executives of the PET, the General Director of ANIFIB, and Prefect of the Region of Arta, and the President of the Regional Council. For the first time, this training will include 30 unqualified young people from Arta region, Wea and Demirjuk, who will benefit from the expertise of ANIFIB trainers. Now, this will be followed by several other trainings that will reach 380 youth, boys and girls from Arta and 200 from Wea during the year 2018. At the end of this training, young people will be better qualified to find jobs or start their own businesses. Under the auspices of the State Secretariat for Youth and Sports, the preparation for the national dialogue between the head of state and youth took place yesterday at the King Fahad Stadium. To this end, the organizing committee met the young people of the district in order to prepare them for this meeting. It should be noted that this great new debate between the youth and their president will take place at the end of January. The interactive exchanges between these young people and the organizing committee focused on the relevant issues to be raised during this meeting. Young people followed one another to speak. They have not failed to emphasize the need for the establishment of a fair policy favoring the integration of Djibouti youth into the process of socio-economic development. They mentioned the need to see more recreational and educational centers develop, leisure and games, as well as green spaces. As part of the fight against smuggling in all its forms and acting on information cross-check, gendarmes of the Sheikh Moussa Brigade followed a trail allowing them to dismantle a network of smuggling cigarettes. Thus, yesterday at 10 p.m., the gendarmes of the Sheikh Moussa Brigade launched an operation in the suburbs of Balbala, notably behind the sports complex of King Fahad. During this operation, the gendarmes of this brigade intercepted a taxi vehicle corresponding to the reports given. The gendarmes also arrested the owner of this smuggling and the taxi driver. They will be brought to justice for their actions. In addition, the High Command of the Gendarmerie informs the population that the gendarmes will spare no effort day or night to deal with the traffic that seriously affects the economy of the country. And on the news outside our borders, at the start of his 3-day state visit to China, French President Emmanuel Macron gave voice to European concerns about Beijing's massive Silk Road revival plan, while also calling on European leaders to put aside their concerns and support an effort that is aimed at developing trade. Macron said he also planned to talk to Xi about relaunching the climate battle by preparing an increase in their engagement to combat global warming of the next UN Climate Change Conference COP24 in Poland later this year. Both parties are expected to sign numerous economic agreements on the third day, particularly in the fields of aviation and nuclear energy. The national energy grid has survived searing temperatures over the weekend in Australia, despite the heat waves across much of the southeast and parts of the west. Sydney yesterday recorded its hottest day since 1939, with currents reaching 47.3 degrees, but one energy market expert is warning that the real test of the national electricity grid this summer is yet to come. The Australian energy market operator had been bracing for heat wave conditions over the weekend, and while there were blackouts in part of Sydney's grid network due to heavy use and cable outages, the national power system held up. And this is it for this evening news. Thank you for joining us on RTD Jan and have a good night.